my YouTube channel, #MovieBay. I am MovieBay, and in this video, I'm going to be reviewing a spoiler review over Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul, starring Regina Hall and Sterling Brown. But before I get to it though, I would like for y'all to drop down and hit the subscribe button to stay tuned for all the content that I have dropping in the near future. My next video will be over Barbarian. I saw that this weekend, and I decided to do a spoiler review. So I'm gonna wait for a little bit, make sure people get the chance to see it, and then I'm gonna drop my spoiler review on that. So make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell for when that premieres. So Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul is about a husband and wife, pastor and first lady, that have to close down their church because of a scandal. They decide to document their comeback story for when they reopen their church on Easter Sunday. Now, this is a satire documentary, so it's, funny. It's making fun of documentaries or, in this instance, mega churches, right? So my first initial thought was, this should not go to the movies. And I'm happy that it was on streaming services as well, because I would rather spend $5 versus $15. I'm just saying. I'm going to start with the highlights real quick before I get into the spoilers. Regina Hall, to me, acted her ass off in here. It's a particular type of comedy that you have to capture with satire, and I feel like Regina Hall is perfect for it. She had The Office-esque comedy flair, and I feel like Regina did that a lot in Scary Movie anyway, so that's why I was I feel like she was just perfect for this role. Sterling Brown, in my opinion, I feel like he did well as well. I felt like he was a pastor, his comedy or his parts weren't as funny as Regina's, but for who his character was, I felt the corniness, I felt the extraness, I felt the exaggeration of pastors and mega churches more so than Sterling Brown's performance. And he preached like a pastor, I'll tell you that much. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the spoilers. So it's obvious that the church was closed down due to a scandal, right? They don't make it known what the scandal is immediately. They give you bits and pieces throughout the entire documentary, which I personally appreciate now looking back on it. Given that it's a mega church and the flashiness of the pastor and the first lady, I immediately thought that the scandal was going to be scamming their congregants, taking money out of the plate, things like that. That's initially what I thought the scandal was going to be, and it makes sense, right? So we are first made aware of the scandal via news reports. So the first lady and the pastor are walking out of the church, and they're basically questioning, how could she still be with him after what he's done? So I'm like, oh, wait a minute. It has nothing to do with money? It has nothing to do with scamming people? Okay. All right. So I was like, the tea, let's go. I'm ready for it now. So that was the first hint that we got of what the scandal actually was. We see the pastor going through a variety of stages throughout the entire documentary. He's flashy with the Prada suits, and I feel like I don't want to say have ADHD, but I feel like he channels his energy into materialistic things to try to deter from what's really wrong with him. Or I'm not even gonna say what's wrong with him, but the issues that he's struggling with internally. While at the mall, and he's very controlling of his wife, played by Regina Hall. He's very controlling of her. He wants her to say things this way because it's cool, and dress like this so we could be hip, and he's constantly wanting to be young, right? So keep that in mind. At the mall, the first lady is looking for a church hat. A church hat for the reopening. And she sees this hat and she just loves it, falls in love. It's a nice little silver ditty, and it's about $2,300. Drops it with no hesitation. Okay. And at the mall, she sees a gang of young boys. And I was watching this movie with a friend, and he was like, she about to cheat on her husband. I said, he cheated on her first. men, right? You know what I'm saying? So anyhow, I was like, she ain't about to cheat on them kids. And then it came to me. Oh, her husband cheated with them kids. Because then it flashes to, and she was curious as to why this person? Why? So she followed the kids throughout the mall. Anyhow, I'm not going to say kids, but the young men throughout the mall. And then it flashes to the pastor having a sermon about homosexuality. And initially watching it, I was like, that was random. I was like, okay, why would they put that in there? I was like, that's bold for 2022. You don't want to get canceled. And then it made sense later that, okay, the scandal is he was having extramarital affairs with young men. They weren't minors. They were consenting adults. But obviously he's a pastor, quote unquote sin, right? So with this scandal, he's not in prison because the boys were of age. They're just claiming that, I don't even think they were claiming rape because, I'm sorry. It don't matter, I don't have enough followers. I don't think they were claiming that, foul play because he would have been in prison. I feel like they were just making allegations like he took advantage of us. He bought us nice things, told us we were the only one to get us to either give up themselves if they were virgins or open up themselves or experiment with their sexuality. So that's not necessarily a crime. Morally, it's a crime. But legally, it's not, which is why they just had to close down their church due to the media, like what's going on in the media about the childs. And I just love the way that they kind of spoon-fed us what the scandal actually was. I skipped over the sex scene, but that was important as well. Regina tried to have sex with her husband, and he flips her over aggressively, and she's like, wait, hold on, wait a minute. Can we do it the regular way tonight? So regular way, I was thinking missionary or vaginally. And when he was like, okay, yeah, sure, he couldn't get back erect. So, as men, it happens, but when you find out what the scandal is, it's like, okay, that makes sense why he couldn't make it work for his wife. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the scandal is, and that is what Pastor Childs is battling in this movie. So we find out why he's so dramatic, why he's trying to save himself. He's rebaptized himself. He's preaching homophobia for himself. He's trying to make it make sense for him. And you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say clear his name, but he's preaching these things and trying to save himself to program himself as to not being gay. On to Sister Childs, who this documentary low-key is about. You would think it's about Pastor Childs, but it's about the First Lady. And her whole story arc is basically how she sticks by her man. That's my man, I'm going to stick beside him throughout the scandal. So your husband has extramarital affairs. He's homosexual, but she's still trying to be a supportive wife. She's still trying to pray for him and make sure, you didn't talk to that young man, did you? We don't want the people for you to see you being extra nice, how you're usually extra nice and things like that. And it's like she's aware, but she doesn't want to leave. I personally don't think it's all for materialistic things. First Lady Childs does really enjoy her position in the church. But it's also, as Christianity, as Black women, as women, to stick by your man. That's the stigma that we have. That's the expectation that we have. And all along, he gets to do whatever the hell he want to do. And I don't support that at all. So the arc for Regina Childs is, instead of changing her vernacular and changing her wardrobe and sticking beside her man and putting up with doing this for him, doing that for him, and bending backwards and all this extra thing and being embarrassed for him, at the end of the movie we find, and the little tambourine is every time she's losing her fucking shit. At the end of the movie, we find that she's done with that. She puts on her nice silver church hat that he said make her look like a grandma. And that just signifies that I'm done with your shit. Like, I might stay with you because she has her little blow up about how, that's just what's going to happen. She loves him regardless. But she's still going to do what the hell she wants to do. She's going to come first. And I can honestly appreciate that as a character arc for her. I don't think Pastor Childs had one. He's still his, I don't want to say flamboyant in a bad way, but his flamboyant, very dramatic ass self. My favorite part of the movie was probably the Nuck If You Buck scene, obviously. I feel like my pros for this movie was it was edited very well. Like I stated, you don't know what the scandal is right away. You do get bits and pieces of it. So I really did appreciate that. And Regina Hall, she has the perfect type of timing and comedy for satire. Like, The Office is my favorite white show. So I could just really appreciate the breaking the fourth wall and talking to the camera and just the stare-offs and the smiling. Y'all can't see what I'm doing, but I'm basically doing the Regina Hall. And I personally enjoyed this movie more than I thought I would. I feel like I personally enjoyed this movie more than other people did. Go ahead and leave your thoughts and comments down in the comment section below. Like this video if you enjoyed my commentary, and subscribe for more content just like this. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see y'all next time. It's a date.